Good morning. I'm Angie and this is Life at Hill House. And I was out here working in the garden this morning doing some weeding, and I was like, it's been about a month I think since we did a garden tour. So I figured we would do a little garden tour of the potager, vegetable, kitchen garden, whatever you want to call it, garden today. So let's go look and see what else is growing out there. Good morning, Duncan. Good morning. All right, we'll start our tour right here. This is the entrance to the potager garden from the romance garden. On either side of the arbor, we have some new dawn roses. This is their first year. They were a bare root. They're doing pretty good. This is the first open bloom. And then over here we have, I believe it's Happy Jack. Because I planted Jolly Good and Happy Jack. It's one of the two. Well, come on in. We did a video of us potting up these planters recently. Now all the pots, containers that are going down the row contain herbs, except for 3, and I'll show you those. But first, let's start out over here. It rained, torrential rains last night, so everything is wet and a little worse for wear. But with the cicadas, coming out early and getting this tour done is the best way to go, because it's kind of quiet right now. We're not dealing with too much cicada pressure. They're not buzzing around and smacking me in the head. So let's start with our first bed. Here is 4x8 bed, and this is the peppers bed. And we've got a lot of varieties in here. I'm gonna try to make this quick. But we've got some bell pepper, some California Wonder. Over here we have habanada, which tastes like a habanero, but it doesn't have the heat. Here we have a cherry, red cherry, and look, this is our first one to give us some fruit. Over here we've got a lilac bell, and here we have a lunchbox sweet. In the corner there, I just planted a little bit of parsley. Back here, this tall one here is a lipstick red. No fruit yet. This one is flowering up nice. We don't have any fruit yet, but it's got the flowers. This is the Pippin Gold. Here we've got a Marconi, which is another sweet pepper. And that's this one here. Next to it, we've got our sweet banana, and we have our first fruit from it too. Right there. And it's full, I mean absolutely full of buds. Then here we've got Craig's Grande Jalapeno. Here we have a fish pepper, and look at this beautiful variegation on this plant's leaves. It's so funny, when I first seen the variegation, I thought a bird had pooped on it. But no, it's a variegated pepper, and the leaves are variegated. Isn't that so pretty? We got a weed here. Then this one is one I bought from the store. The rest of these I all grew from seed. This one I did get from the store because I lost one, and it's another lunchbox sweet pepper. This was the Anaheim, but it died. I didn't know what happened there. Here we've got a jalapeno. So it is like a jalapeno without the heat. You can see it's full of buds and blooms. And then here on the end again, we're back to that original bell, which, yeah, California Wonder. Here in the corner we have a holy basil. So for some reason, all of my plants in my beds that are on this side have some issues like yellowing and curling. But everything that's on the back sides of the beds are fine. And that's only on this side of the garden. I would say that I eat peppers and or tomatoes every single day. So that's why I've planted a lot of peppers. And I'm not a really big fan of like super spicy peppers, but I love sweet peppers. And I'll try some warmer peppers, but even jalapeno to me is just way too hot. But in the comments, let me know what your favorite pepper is, and maybe I'll give it a try, especially if it's something I haven't tried. So over here we have Artemis, which is my artichoke, which is purely ornamental because look at this leaf structure. Isn't it so beautiful? Oh, yeah, I love that thing. And then back here we've got a bed of calendula. This is going to be for my calendula salves that I make and sell on our Etsy. And then this is early wonder beets. It's so funny, I was out here weeding, but I sure have a lot of weeds left. And as you can see, there's cicada carcasses everywhere. So these are early wonder beets. We've already had radishes in here, and we've had turnips in here. So now we just got the beets left. These will be coming out soon. They're starting to look pretty decent. Oh, this one's really... Let's see if we can zoom in on this one here. Look at that one. Yeah, it looks good. And I think once these come out, I'm probably going to plant this full of flowers for the rest of the season. Come over here to this container, and this is Stevia. I love this. Putting this in tea, lemonade, just chewing on it in the garden, just a sweet little treat. All right, and then over here we have some thyme. It's right in the sun right now. So we have a variegated. Isn't that cute? And then we have traditional. Thyme is one of those herbs that I cook with daily. It's actually probably my favorite herb. This is a Bonfire Patio peach. I don't know, something happened here. First off, I had this full of calendula. Sorry guys, I had to step away until Mr. Motormouth, Duncan Doodle. Hey, Duncan. Hey, I'm talking to you. He's on squirrel alert this morning. But anyway, this is a Bonfire Patio peach. And it was doing really good. I had calendula in here, and then I had a case of mold. And I had to pull my calendula. But this is what's happened to my peaches. Look, they're dried up. So, I don't know. And these are nowhere near ready. These are hard as rocks. I've got another one in here. So what I've been told is these are more like a cooking peach, not like a eating fresh. But I don't know. I'm just gonna have to keep an eye on it, and we might get something, we might not. This is only my second year with this tree, so maybe next year. I know fruit trees can be a little difficult. Here we've got our strawberry bed. And we've got several different kinds of strawberries in here. We've got Ozark Beauty, Berry Treasure Red, Berry Treasure Pink, Berry Treasure White, and Quinault, something like that. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But, oh, we've got berries. One thing I have a problem with, and it's... they kind of like mold before they turn red. And I don't know if it's because this container is too deep and they're just laying too much in the soil. But That seems to be something that's occurring. Got another one there. And there's some in here. So we are getting production. This is a huge jasmine. I wanted the Confederate Jasmine. This, I don't believe, is it. It just said jasmine. I'm not sure. Need to do a little research. But this is its second year. I cut it all the way back last year at the end of the year. Itty bitty little teeny tomatoes. That's so sweet. I've never tried these. I'm excited to. All right, and here we have our other 4x8 bed, and this is the tomato bed. And I'll show you what I was talking about with the issues on one side of the bed. So, we've lost a few plants along the way, and I've had to replace them. Luckily, I had some backup, and I did have to buy, I think, 2. Mushrooms. But so I bought this, I just got this indigo rose. Okay, it was looking perfectly fine. It's been in this bed for less than a week, I think. And look at this, the leaves are curling. So according to all of the research I've done, when they're curling up like this from the bottom up, and it's not just the top view, it is too much water. But it hasn't really rained. I don't know if that's what's going on here or not. But we've got fruit. So we got the indigo rose here. We come over here again. Here we've got this curling. What do we got there? I don't know. So we've got this curling, but we're getting lots of buds. No curling towards the top. Now this was curled all the way through, but it's starting to slow down. I've been treating with iron tone, tomato tone combination because we've had a really bad iron problem over here, which is finally getting straight. Everything's colored up nice. Here we've got a pink, oh, I didn't tell you what this was. This is a Paul Robeson. This is pink boar. Got some fruit on here. So I'm pretty excited about that. Again, you see the curl. I don't know if I need to maybe water this twice a day, but it doesn't seem dry. I don't know. Moving on over here, this is Dr. Witchy, and look at all those blooms. Holy smokes. So this one's looking good. It did have all the curl like everybody else. It just has a little bit left right here. And that's it. The rest is cleared up. Here we've got some basil. So you can see how pale they were. It's because we were dealing with this chlorosis issue, the iron deficiency. And then we'll move on to the other side here. See, we got nice airflow down the middle there. All right. Over here we have, I think it's super sweet. Yeah, cherry. It's a super sweet cherry. We've got fruit on here. It's looking good. See, no curling, no yellowing, nothing. It's looking great. This is one I had to purchase because my Roma that was here died. My Roma and my San Marins didn't do real great. But no fruit yet, but we're starting to flower. And this is a midnight snack. Never tried that before, so I'm excited about that. Here we've got Cherokee Purple. Nope, mortgage lifter. And we've got fruit there. It's looking pretty good. It's a rather small plant, but it looks good. Over here is Cherokee Purple. Nice size fruit here. just one. And I mean, look how short that plant is, and it already has fruit. And then this one is our blueberry cherry. I tell you, when it gets to the top here, sometimes I just get a little confused on my pruning. I'm telling what is a sucker and what is not. I think I got all the suckers. But yeah, no fruit there either. But overall, this side is looking pretty good. But it's just amazing how there's no sign of any issues on this side of the tomato bed, but there is on the other. Let's head on over to the other side. Now, while I typically don't call this a part of the potager garden, I wanted to show you our pumpkins. We planted up in a video recently. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 varieties of pumpkins. And everything's sprouting up really nice. And if you're questioning why there's only soil exposed on part of the landscape fabric, that's because the landscape fabric is just there because I'm bougie when it comes to my food and I don't want it all over the ground. So it's just, the vines are going to get huge. They're going to fill in this entire space. And then my pumpkins will hopefully lay on the paper and not all over in the grass growing up around it and whatnot. So that's the only reason that's like that. The paper's just there to keep my pumpkins out of the grass. Same concept here. It's our watermelon bed. So we've got Crimson Sweet, we've got Sugar Baby, we've got Mini Love. Then we are trying a seedless variety. Planted it a little late, but it's the Farmer's Wonder. And then you have to have a pollinator plant with it, and it came with the seeds for that, and that's the Ace Pollinator. But they're looking good so far, so I'm excited to see how that works out. Another question for you guys, so leave it in the comments. Have you guys ever had your grass removed and like an area like put in with like pea gravel or something like that? While I love the look of this being really lush and the grass, but I don't like it to be unkept in any sort of way. And I also feel like though when you mow and you weed eat, you're spreading grass seed and weed seeds all over the place in the vegetable bed, which makes it more work as far as weeding goes and such. So my original idea was to, before we even put these beds in here, was to have this all done in pea gravel. Have a landscape company come out, remove all the soil, all the grass, lay down fabric and put down the pea gravel. And that's still kind of what I want to do. I've given it a try this way for a couple years now, and I really feel like I would like it better with the pea gravel because I always want it to be very well shaped up. I don't like it when the grass gets tall, like you see over here in the corner. Where are we at? But the grass gets tall, like there. I don't like that. And I'm not really good with a weed eater or a mower. And my husband has to take care of it, and he works a lot. So we just do a general mow once a week and weed eat with the weed eater. But man, this fills in really quick, and I'm just not loving it. Like I love it when I look at it from this view, right, from the distance. But when I look at it from far away, I mean from close up, I don't like it. So have you ever had it done? How long did it take? Was it super expensive? And was it worth it? Are you glad that you did it? So comment below and let me know. All right, let's move on. So this is our greens bed. This one I believe is 3 by 6, I think. It's full of kale. We've got purple kale. We've got Ragged Jack, we've got dinosaur, we've got romaine lettuce, we've got 2 different kinds of lettuces here that I can't think of what they are, and then we've got some ground cherries. I've never had ground cherries. This is Aunt Molly's pineapple, I believe. So what I've heard is these little pods, they fall off, and that's how you know when they're ready to eat. So I'm excited for that. I think next year I'm going to move that. Or like if I plant one, I'm going to plant it somewhere on this side of the garden so that it gets more sun, because it's kind of shady right here. It's why I have the greens here. Here we've got a container full of sage. Got some nasturtiums. And then we've got some cinnamon basil. With the cinnamon basil, I really just planted for my cut flower purposes. All right, and then moving over here, we've got the gray dogwood, which I've talked to you guys about in videos before. This was a plant that I got for like $1, $2 at the Blue Home and Hardware big box store. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And they were like, oh, you know, you don't want that. It was on the clearance rack. They were like, it was literally like a stick like this, about that big. And there was no leaves on it, and it was kind of brown. But I had scraped it, and I seen the green, and I was like, I'm going to take that home and save it. And so, literally, this thing is like my baby, because it was nothing, and Mama saved it. And this is its 3rd year. And we just got a bigger container for it. All right, over here. Whoa. Guys, this thing is taller than me, and it is a sun gold cherry tomato. And look at them shining in the sun. Like, how beautiful is that thing, right? And then here we have Super Tasty, which is a Determinate tomato, so it won't get too awfully big. And I did prune that a little hard, and you're not really supposed to prune Determinates, but I didn't have a choice because it was wrapped up in another plant. More thyme, because like I said, I have thyme everywhere because I love thyme. And then we have one more, which is San Mars. So hopefully this one does well, so I can some, especially for my homemade pizza sauce, which we go through a lot of every year. All right, and this was the potato bed, but I've already harvested those, and I think I'm going to plant this up with flowers. I think gladiolus, just something for my cut flowers. Here we have oregano, which is trying to go to seed. So I need to come out here and harvest this. Probably do that today and get it drying. Probably hang some, and then some I'll put in the dehydrator. But we have 2 different kinds. We have Italian and we have Greek. So Greek grows like a ground cover, and then the Italian grows nice and tall. And now my hand smells like a pizza. All right, green bean bed and arbor. So this arbor is a 16-foot cattle panel bent over to make an arch. And have several different kinds of beans. Here we've got some dragon tongue bush bean here. Got another dragon tongue here. It's a weed that I missed. This one here is a purple TP. Look at that pretty little flower. And then these, I believe, these are contender. Oh, look at that. We got our first bean. Can you see it? Let me move here. There it is. That's exciting. Oh, there's a couple little baby beans, and that's the contender. And that's funny because it's not the first one I planted by far. I planted the beans, all of these, way before anything else. I think it's contender. Yep, contender. All right. So then here on the arch, we've got 3 different kinds of beans. Help this guy along here. Sometimes if you don't give them a helping hand, they will just get really out of control. So give them a little bit of a helping hand. There we go. All right. So here we have Sunset Runner beans, which are going to be these, the ones that have these on it. There you go, see the end. That's the Sunset Runner. These here on both ends I have with the purple or dark colored veining is purple Boonhide, something like that. I'm not sure, but it's a purple potted pole bean of some sort. What is this one? This is a Sunset Runner that is in the ground apparently for some reason. Over here, I'm not going towards a trellis, I don't know. Goodness gracious, I totally forget what this other bean is. Well, hold on, let me see if I can find a tag. Okay, I dug around and figured it out. So we have blue-hilled, or I'm not really, I know I'm not saying that right, guys. I got them from Baker's Creek. They got a purple pod, but I know I'm not saying it right. And then the others are, so we have, I believe, 2 of those, 2 or 3. Then this section here is rattlesnake pole beans. Then we have the Sunset Runner beans, and then back to the blue-hilled or whatever it is. Here in this little container, we've got some rosemary. I've been picking off of it a lot. You can see starting to get some buds, which means we're going to get some green beans. No beans yet on these, but a lot of flower activity. And I mean, even if I didn't get green beans, just look how beautiful this is. Like, this is amazing. It's so pretty. Then we move over here. Spencer. Excuse me, Spencer. Spencer. I think he thought that he was alone out here and I wasn't going to notice him being naughty. All right, so this is more Sunset Runner. You can see it's starting to flower, that pretty golden, peachy color. Excuse me, boys. What are you doing, Spence? Spencer's going to get a haircut tomorrow because he looks like a ragamuffin. All right, sorry, I'm sniffling. I know. I've stopped sniffling. I've done pretty good with the sniffling through videos, but... So here we have some Clematis. This, again, is either the Happy Jack or the Jolly Good. I think this is the Happy Jack, and that's the Jolly Good. All right. So we've got lots and lots of little pretty buds here. And it's climbing up nicely. And it was planted not that long ago. Here we have 3 different kinds of cucumbers. We have Parisian pickling. We have, over here, fit my fat hand in here, Endeavor cucumber. And this should be Silver Slicer. Yes, Silver Slicer. Nope. They are attaching themselves nicely. Try to keep them, oops, well, he'll grow back. Try to keep them going in the right direction there. And like I said, I think this is the Happy Jack. And then the other one would be the Jolly Good. So pretty. Yeah, little bee butt is so cute. Okay, I get distracted easy. Squirrel. All right, so here we have a huge, zoom out here, container of Sweet Annie, which I love the smell of Sweet Annie. So I love to use it in flower arrangements, dry it, hang it in the kitchen. It's so nice. Over here, now this was the garlic bed, which has been transformed into the cucumber bed. So we've got the 3 cucumbers I told you about. I also brought a burpless hybrid Bonnie's cucumber because all of mine were climbers and this is supposed to be a bush. Chicago pickling. Well, I don't think that's a rose. Endeavor. And another silver slicer that didn't make it. Parisian pickling. And another silver slicer. So we got to get those planted. We have, I just put in a bunch of sunflower seeds. They're a dwarf sunflower that supposedly only gets 1 to 2 feet tall. We got 1 basil. It's another thing I use a good bit of, so I like to spread it around. And then we have this borage, and look at the size of the stalk on this. I don't know if it's just splitting or if it has borers. But it is massive. Look how pretty this is. And borage, if you eat the little flower heads, they supposedly taste like cucumbers. This is what the little flower looks like. That's so pretty. So, a potager garden is a French style kitchen garden. And it uses a combination of herbs, flowers, and vegetables. So that's what you'll see that I'm trying to do out here. It's going to take a little time. Got a lot of projects going on all the time that I'm working on, little by little. But it'll get there. This area here is like finally what I want it to look like. So we have our, I believe, maybe a Patriots house in the middle. Then we have 2 Paul Glories, 3. The one looks a little different than the other 2, but I don't know why. We've got some random red begonias. We've got our Limelight Hydrangea. And then I just picked this up, and it's a cherry frost rose, and it needs to be planted. It has not been planted yet because I've pretty much just been avoiding all things under any tree canopies because of the cicadas. So I think they're winding down now, but once they're gone for the season, I'll finish getting all of this type of stuff planted up. I'll say that has really the feel that I want. I want to incorporate that like romantic gothic feeling along with, I originally started calling this the Renaissance garden because if you watch movies that are like in castles and stuff, they always have like that kitchen garden with the wicker baskets, and there's usually like willow branched beds, and that's the look that I really originally wanted here. So I'm gonna try to like meld all of the ideas that I have into one garden. So hopefully it'll work. I'm not gonna have the willow unless I just do like a faux around these beds. I could do that. Who knows? Like I said, so many projects. But that's it for the potager garden, guys. A lot of things have changed since the last tour. The last tour, you know, this was full of broccoli and kale and Swiss chard, and the green beans were just these itty bitty little things this big. And over here was full of garlic, and this was full of onions. And I mean, so everything has just changed drastically. But that's how it is with gardening, right? That's what we want. Everything changes drastically. Everything grows, everything produces. We move it out and put something else in and keep productive so that we can be as self-sustainable as possible. Like I said, I have that dream. So like I said, I have that dream of the big house in the country, the romantic gardens that just take you away to another place in time. Mini Jersey cow, some little goats, some chickens, some ducks waddling around in the garden, some geese. Just the romance of it all. Just, I can see it in my head so clearly, guys. I wish that you could see it in your head as clearly as I can see it in mine. But trust me, it's beautiful, okay? And that's the dream. And when you guys like the videos, when you guys subscribe to my channel, when you guys hit that notification bell, and when you guys share it with people you know, it gets me one step closer to that dream becoming reality. And I promise I'll take you with me throughout the entire process of the dream becoming reality. So until next time, guys, I hope that the garden continues to romance you every day in every way. Bye-bye.